Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I will be discussing how to do laundry in a non-electric situation and survival situation, as well as how to handle carpets in a non-electric world. Now, this might sound like a bit of a trivial subject when you're first exposed to it, but if you think about it, when in a non-electric world or survival situation, the things that are most important to restore to your life are the small and not so small daily routines and comforts of life. To be able to get washed and then put on some clean clothes is a wonderful and normalizing experience when in these types of situations. Something so relatively small making such a huge impact on your mood and everyone else in your family dynamic. So don't brush this off. It is important. Okay then, let's start with laundry. I will go through several methods of doing laundry, some that use soap and others that don't. Now, first off, sort your clothes, just as you would in a normal electricity-filled life. Put all of your whites in one pile, the colored clothes in another pile, the dark clothes in yet another pile, and finally the really dirty clothes in the last pile. Fill a kitchen sink-sized waterproof container with water that you have already heated. Put in the normal amount of laundry soap for a load of laundry and insert the whites first. Using a brand new and clean, cheap toilet plunger, start to plunge the clothes and then shove the clothes back and forth in the tub. Do this for about 5 minutes. Then let the clothes sit in the hot, soapy water for about 15 minutes. Then plunge and shove the clothes again for another 5 minutes. Then let the clothes sit in the hot, soapy water again. Then plunge and shove one more time for a total of 3 agitations of the clothes. From this point, pick up an article of clothing and pick it up out of the water, letting the water run off the article of clothing. Then shove it back into the water and manually shove it around in the water. Do this 2 to 3 times per article of clothing. That will usually be enough for most articles of clothing. Now, for heavier soiled articles, you can take a nail brush and apply a small quantity of soap to the heavily soiled areas and scrub it with a brush until it's clean. And keep rinsing the article of clothing in the hot soapy water and shoving it around to ensure that the bulk of the soap is out of the heavily stained garment. Now, you can also rub the cloths together like this as well, but the brush works a little bit better. Now, when you're satisfied that the clothes are clean, then you wring them out one by one and put them into another waterproof container. To wring clothes, you twist them to drive the water out and then let them and get them as dry as you possibly can. Wring the clothes like that. When the first load is done, set it aside and put the colored clothes into the warm soapy water. Now add more hot water as needed to keep the container full. Add more laundry soap and repeat the above steps. Once the clothes are clean, wring them out and put them into another waterproof container. These can be those cheap 5-gallon plastic pails that are everywhere. That works just great. Then continue doing each additional load of clothes in the same hot soapy water. When you have completed washing all of the clothes, then you start the rinse process. Empty the waterproof container that had your soapy wash water in and clean it out. Then add cold rinse water. Now shake out all of the whites and put them into the cold rinse water. Plunge and shove the clothes around in the rinse water for about 5 minutes. Let the clothes sit for about 5 minutes. Then plunge and shove the clothes around with a plunger for another 5 minutes. At this point, pick up each individual article of clothing and wring the water out. Get the clothes as dry as you can. Then shake the clean clothes out and deposit them into a container. Once all of the clothes have been rinsed and wrung out and shook out, then hang them to dry on a clothesline. Now, if you don't have a clothesline, a fence works well, or a balcony banister, or even low-lying bushes. Any place that is clean will do, and that the air can flow around your clothes. You will be amazed at how quickly clothes dry naturally. Now, follow this procedure with the next loads until all of your laundry is done. This sounds like a lot of work, but it really isn't that bad. I've done laundry like this many times, and it's very effective, and it's not backbreaking. If you are in a situation where there's no soap, it's a bit trickier to do your laundry, but not impossible. Sort your clothes as described above. Fill a waterproof container with hot water and insert the first load. Follow the same procedure as above, except at the end of the wash cycle, you must scrub each article of clothing with your hands like this, with a brush, or with a washboard. Okay, and if you have access to clean sand, this is also very helpful in getting out really embedded stains. This is a much more labor-intensive method of doing laundry. You really sweat when you wash your clothes like this, but it can be done. The procedure is the same for drying the clothes as the above method. Now, if you are in a super primitive situation, you can wash your clothes in a creek. The easiest way to do this is to anchor your clothes in the water with a rock and let the current do the bulk of the work for you. And then you just finish up with the clothes scrub, which is done on a smooth rock. In the olden days, there was so much work associated with the running of a household that each day of the week was designated to a special weekly task. Laundry was traditionally done every Monday. Ironing was done on Tuesdays. Taking care of the carpets was done on Wednesdays. Looking after the oil lamps and wicks was done on Thursdays. Bread was baked on Fridays, and the weekly bath happened on Saturdays. Running a household was really something, labor-intensive, and required organization to keep everything running smoothly. It was a full-time job. Now for carpet care in a non-electric world. The easiest way to handle this situation is with a good, stiff broom, like a straw broom. You can get all of the surface debris off the carpet very effectively with this method. It just requires patience on your part to sweep and sweep until the debris is removed. You can use a regular dustpan to collect the debris from the rug, or you can sweep the rug debris right off the edge of the carpet onto a floor where it can more easily be picked up with a dustpan. Now, if you're dealing with wall-to-wall carpeting, this will only work for just so long. And then a critical mass situation evolves and you have to get rid of the carpet altogether. Carpeting in a bedroom will last for several years using the straw broom method of cleaning if you're careful. But a living room carpet will not last long before it becomes a health hazard and will need to be removed. Now, if you are lucky enough to be dealing with an area rug, then you can take the rug outside once a week and hang it over a fence and then beat the dirt out of it. One of the best implements for this task is a standard baseball bat. But you can improvise with a clean, long-handled shovel or your straw broom. Just keep beating the carpet until no more dirt falls out of it. This is an excellent way to release any residual anger you may be holding on to. I'm not going to kid you on this one. This is hard, physical, manual labor, but it does work very well, and it will enable you to keep a carpet that won't become a health hazard in a non-electric world. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscription button right below this video. Take care.